Hi guys, my name is Veronika, I'm a photographer, and in today's video I will be showing you how to look good in every photo. I have definitely picked up some tips and tricks along the way in my career in terms of how to look good and how to pose in a photo. We are going to be covering light, posing, your face and in general how to get the shoot. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we are going to talk about is light. Light is probably the most important thing in a photo. So my very first tip about light is to find natural light. The easiest way to find a very flattering natural light is to go over a big nice window, take your cell phone out, put it into a selfie mode and allow the natural light to light up your entire face. Make sure you're facing that window and it's very flattering light to take a photo. And the next tip is to shoot during golden hour. If you are very motivated to shoot in a very flattering light, golden hour is the time for that. So flattering that sometimes on shoots we only shoot during sunsets and sunrises, not somewhere in between. The easiest way to find out when that is in Magic Hour app, where you can see when the sun sets and sunrises. My next tip is if you go outside, sometimes it can be very hard to shoot during midday. Because the light will be coming from so many different directions. It can come right above you, bouncing off the buildings. So my tip for that is to find some sort of a shade and make sure you're covered by this shade, but your face is still lit up by natural light. Let's talk about lights to avoid. Like I said, any light from overhead or underneath. Also I would avoid fluorescent light, it's just not flattering. Okay, so let's talk about posing. This question I get a lot from my clients, like I don't know what to do with my body or my hands. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about all of that. My first tip is to be aware of your posture. So what does it mean? Make sure your shoulders are down and your core is braced. It's very easy for us to have our shoulders kind of scrunched up. Also, it's very helpful to imagine that a thread is pulling you from your head up to the sky, almost thinking about it like you're a dancer. For your core, be aware of your midsection and sort of brace it like you would in a plank. My next tip is to elongate your lumps. Like I said before, it never looks good in a photo when you're scrunched up or kind of hunching over. It's always more flattering to have one leg extended out, or maybe you will have an arm extended out. In general, try to extend your body to make it look longer. It's always more flattering for a photo. My next tip is about hands. So my first tip will be to bring in a prop. It can be a coffee cup or your handbag. It always gives you to do something with your hands and kind of bring action to a photo. My next tip would be to put hands in your pockets. Playing with pockets of your jeans or jacket can be very helpful. If you don't have any of these things, you can always cross your arms, play with your hair, put your hands close to your face and it will be more playful and girly. My next tip would be to shift your hips from side to side. You can put your weight from the side to side and play with the shape of your body. My next tip is a little bit weird, but in almost all my photos I have my hips slightly shifted to the back. I'm almost arching my lower back. It creates better shape for your body and for your legs. My next tip is to create shapes. If you will put your hand on your hips, it will allow the space between the hips and your arms to show off the waistline. It's always more flattering for the photo. My next tip is to do fake model walk. All models I know do that. If you see the photo shoot happening, you will see model doing fake steps back and forward. It allows you to have movement on the photo and also create different shapes with your body. Let's move to the face. My very first tip will be to play with the mirror or to take your cell phone out, put it in a selfie mode and create different photos and play with the angles of your face to understand which angle of your face you like the best, smile or maybe not and do different photos. So my next tip would be to smile. Doing a slight smile is making you more relaxed on the photo. It might feel a little bit weird, but my next tip is to do fake laugh. If you feel that your smile is a little bit stiff, you can do fake laugh or giggle to yourself. The look will be more candid. Every model I know does it. My next tip is to raise your eyebrows slightly. It's giving the little bit of the facelift to your face and you will look more awake. My next tip is very helpful, especially for beauty shoots. So the secret is to glue your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So when my tongue is not on the roof of my mouth, my neck looks a bit more relaxed than if it is. So let's move on how to take a shoot, and I wanted to talk about different angles. One of the most common camera angle is to place camera in the subject's eye level. This camera angle results in an image that is balanced and proportionate between head and body. This angle allows subject to look directly into the lens, which creates feeling of connection in a portrait. This angle is flattering for most of the people. Shooting from a low camera angle with the lens placed below the subject's eye and tilted up can make people look taller and skinnier. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you watched until the end, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like and follow me on social media.